Happy Friday to you, everyone. I tell you what, it seems like it's been a long week for me, so I'm just glad it's just about over. Although, when you do what I do, you never really take a day off. You work 7 days a week, and I shoot these videos 7 days a week. But at the end of the day, though, it still felt like it's been a long week. And if it's felt like that for you, well then, definitely big time. Happy Friday. Okay, we're wrapping up this week with my little mini-series on animal personalities. Really, really important stuff. Again, it's not just me standing up here writing on a whiteboard. It's really important because the more knowledge we have about our animal's behavior, then the better we will be at trying to coexist with that animal and train that animal. Okay, so in the beginning, the earth was formed and life came about in a world in which there are finite resources, which led to competition, which then led to personalities and strategies to acquire or defend those valuable resources. So this week we learned a little bit. We learned that some of the personalities include producers. They're the big risk takers. Big risk, big reward. Then we found out about scroungers. Not so much the risk takers. They're going to parasitize off of the producers. They're going to just kind of live off of their coattails, follow them around, and not expend so much energy, not get injured as often, not take the big risk, and therefore they kind of get stuck with the leftovers. And then that moved us on into cooperators and defectors, a kind of personalities grew from there. We kind of find out that scroungers are more of the cooperators. Yeah, anyone can be a cooperator. Producer certainly can, and a scrounger certainly can. But scroungers make up the majority of the cooperators from what we've been able to tell in animal studies. Producers, they're more like defectors. They're the defectors. They're the ones who have the attitude numero uno. I admit it's my way or the highway. That's who they are. And so again, kind of live with that. And that makes them a little bit harder to train. A little bit more independent. They're more willing to walk away from you, run off from you, go explore novel environments, novel objects, go out there to that local enhancement, check out other dogs. They're just going to be a little bit more difficult to train, a little less touchy-feely, not so sensitive. You pet them, a lot of times you feel like you're petting them for your benefit, not their benefit. But these scroungers, oh man, they're cooperators. Like Captain, he's a scrounger. You know, I'm proud of him. I love him because he cooperates with me so much. You've seen it in the videos. He's just wonderful. But the drawback for that is he's a little bit sensitive too. A little bit sensitive. Just even yesterday, we were shooting some video ads out at a local park. And this was an area in which a lot of dogs were off leash. And he kind of got a little nervous about that because all these dogs are just running up to him while he's having to do stay in place and all these other things. And these dogs are out of control. Captain's totally in control. And it just made him really, really nervous. And that's just something I have to live with. And anytime I take him to a novel environment, whether it be a new city, whether it be a new home or a hotel room, I just have to know what's coming and do all that I can to keep everything in his life the same. About what time I feed him, what time we go to bed, where is his bed, does he have a bed, all those things that I can do to make it less stressful for him. But yeah, he incurs a little bit of stress from time to time because he's one of those scroungers. He's a cooperator though, which makes training him ideal. It's super, super simple. Okay, then going from that, all these animals, whether you're a producer or a scrounger, they found that, you know what? Sometimes a little help helps things go a long ways. I acquire more if I actually get a team around me. I get some support around me. Hey, producers and scroungers both learned that. And they form coalitions and alliances. Yeah, coalitions and alliances. Now, one of the things that we have learned from this, though, is that if the scroungers will typically form a coalition against dominant animals. Yeah, these weaker guys and girls, they'll form a team and they'll go against that big old bully, per se. You know, not really, but just to kind of help you get an example in the human world. Yeah, they'll push him or her around, that big dominant animal. They'll gang up and try and take something. Sometimes you see this in interspecific type interactions. For instance, a group of wolves against a grizzly bear fighting all over one kill. We see it all throughout the animal kingdom. And again, we talked about some examples that you may see coalitions in your own life, and those were with foster dogs and dogs at dog parks and so on. And then we're also able to determine that the producers typically intervene. They intervene, and they intervene in fights in your household. They can intervene in a fight at a dog park. They just feel like they got to stick their nose into everyone else's business. Yeah, remember, it's all about me, so what the heck are you guys doing over there? You're not going to interfere with anything that's going to happen to me, right? And again, that's got a survival value to it, because if you are the lead wolf in a pack, and you got 8 offspring back over here, and you got 2 or 3 of them getting after it all the time, that's bad. That's bad. Not only do you alert the other wolves in the surrounding territories of your presence, it's energy expenditure. It can cause injuries, which then you can end up losing part of your team. It makes sense. They want to intervene, and they also want to make sure sometimes, and it's not always this altruistic type approach or hidden value behind it, it is some selfishness. Hey, I've seen a lot of these producers intervene when 2 dogs are going after it in the household, because the 2 dogs in the household were going after something very valuable. Maybe it was a bone, maybe it was a toy, maybe it was some leftover food scraps. And the producer went in and intervened and said, knock it off. And then he or she took that food and scrapped. Oh, you gotta love them. You just gotta love them. Okay, so we found out about that. But then we found out that regardless of whether you're a producer or a scrounger, you will all gang up to go against another group. Yeah, we found out that in the dolphin species, they will form an alliance, so a small group, and they will then form an alliance with another group, and then possibly even another group, forming these things called super alliances to be able to accomplish their goals. But more close to home are wolf packs. Your wolf pack goes against a wolf pack. Trust me, in those wolf packs, if you got 7 on 7, I guarantee you have a few producers, and you definitely have a bunch more of the scroungers involved. But that's what happens when you form a big time alliance or a coalition, and you go against, your group goes against someone else's group. We also found out that cooperation, nature favors cooperation when you are between groups. Yeah, again, that's why producers and scroungers in a wolf pack will go after another wolf pack. We're trying to colonize. We're trying to take over the world. So my team against your team. Regardless if I'm the best player on the team or if I'm the worst player on the team, it doesn't matter. We're all going to chip in. But nature favors that producer or defector when within group societies, within the group, so within your household. Nature favors that animal that's more of a defector. They're going to kind of get their way, again, my way or the highway. So we learn a whole lot about that, and we can judge our animals. A lot of you have written into me, whether it be an email, sent me a text, or dropped it down on that thread. I love seeing these pictures, and people are just out there going, Bryan, defector for sure. Absolutely. And they say it with pride. I got one. I got the smallest dog we own, Poe, a little bitty black and white Morkie. She is, again, I had a country boy tell her one time, you're nothing but a minute. She's just nothing but a minute. But she is a huge producer. Huge producer. She will run captain all over the place. If there's something of value there, it is hers. And if we're going to go explore any new area, it's not Captain I have to keep an eye on, not Dave I have to keep an eye on. It's Poe. She's tiny and she's gone. I remember Karen one time, she went right over this hill. She goes, there she goes. That was it. That's all I heard was, there she goes. I'm like, what do you mean? There she, who's she? Poe. Poe's gone. She went down the ravine. And sure enough, about 45 minutes later, we find her. She went down the ravine. She's gone. That's Poe for you. She's a producer. She's going to do these things. Now that we know that, she was a real young dog back in those days. Now we can manage it. Now we're a little bit more watchful of her every little move, especially when we're out there in a strange area or a novel environment. And again, that's what this whole thing is about. Giving that extra little edge, to creating the relationship with your dog that you always dreamed of. Okay, so what did all this stuff do? Man, I'm getting to the best part here. All of this taken together. This is how all of this came to be. Meaning this dog and human relationship. This is how it came. Right here. Producers and scroungers becoming cooperators and defectors, forming coalitions and alliances. And guess which alliance? They formed the strongest alliance with, the oldest in all of humankind. The dog, wolf, and that's why I wrote that, wolf, dog. A lot of science still out there debating on what the heck was it that first ran into mobile hunting groups. There's just not enough stuff out there for us to gauge this off of, to do data testing and time testing and carbon, all that stuff, testing. We don't have enough information. We can only go by the little snippets, those little fragments of information that were given through science. Hopefully we'll unearth more in the upcoming years and we'll know more. But we do know this. Somewhere around between 33 and 40,000 years ago, there was one creature that the dog and the wolf used to be. And somewhere along the line, the thing broke in half. And one went this way, and that's today's extant wolf. And another one shot off on this trajectory for some reason. And it started to change. Well, we do know that about that 33,000 year mark, whatever that thing was, whether it was still a wolf of some sort, and I'm sure it was mostly wolf back then, or some sort of ancient dog, but it ran into mobile hunting groups and formed this incredible alliance that is still here to this day. Absolutely incredible. We have within our own little inner packs cooperators and defectors and producers and scroungers, coalitions going on right underneath our very nose. We have so much going on, and it's just so cool. And I love it because the science here, I tell everyone all the time, your dogs, from an instinctual standpoint, maybe not from a visual observation standpoint, but from instinct, from internal mechanisms, is still so much wolf-like, or whatever the heck that creature was that met mobile hunting groups. And we know this because we do have some information. And one of the coolest things ever, and I was trying to get a picture of it, I just couldn't dig it up, somewhere back in my files, but when I find it, I'm going to post it right here on this thread. But in the Ardèche region of France, in the canyons deep in the Ardèche region of France, there is a cave known as the Chauvet Cave. And in this cave is kind of like a prehistoric art gallery. There are cave paintings, and these paintings depict pictures of wolf-like creatures and wolf-like creatures hunting with humans. And these things date back over 27,000 years ago. And the coolest thing of all is on the floor of this cave, preserved forever, are the footprints of a 10-year-old child, and right next to it, the path of two prints, just like I wrote in my book, the path of two prints, right next to this child's print are the prints, walking right next to it, of a very large, ancient, dog-like animal, dog or wolf. Say more? Need to say more? Hey, the thing can't be an enemy. It can't be a threat to your family if you allowed it to walk next to your child inside your home, whether that home's a cave or not. There you go. Do we need more? And that alliance has been there and is still here for all of these thousands of years. And may it continue. May it grow. May we grow. And may we be better for it. And we certainly will. Because the more we open up our minds, the more we reflect upon and study animal behavior, even if it seems trivial. I know a lot of people out there want to see, oh, show me how to make a dog heel. Show me how to make a dog sit and how to lay down. I get all that, and I do all that. But every now and then it's about reaching deep inside and going, wow, how incredible. Was this meant to be? It had to have been meant to be. Where's the grace? Where's the love, the passion? Yes, and the knowledge. Every time, every little thing that you know, everything that you can possibly know about your dog's behavior, the origin of it, how it evolved, where is it today, what's it capable of doing, what it cannot do, all add to your tool bag, your ability to understand, to draw up more accurate and not rabbit hole chasing hypothesis, and then problem solve. And the faster you can do that, and the easier you can do that, you will do it, and a higher quality of life will result for you and for your dog. I use this information all the time, guys, all the time. I solve some of the deepest, most complex problems. And unfortunately, some of them I don't solve. I can't. I don't have enough information. And that's why I dig into everything I can find and try to pass it on to you, so collectively we can all gain the knowledge we need to keep this alliance, the oldest in humankind, going for our grandkids and for the future humans of this world. That's why we do it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you found any of this information this week about animal personalities beneficial to you, then there's a good chance it's probably beneficial to someone else. Share it. Share it out there. Do that for me, please. This is all about a higher quality of life, building a safe and productive coexistence with our dogs forevermore. Power to the allegiance of humans and dogs. I've enjoyed it this week. Tomorrow we get busy with some other material. I'll check in with you guys and enjoy the rest of your week.